What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video we're going over my 5 personal favorites from Dumont. It's a new year, and while there's a lot of different lines and different offerings, it can be a little confusing if you're going to do some blind buying, which I don't encourage. Get some samples if you can, but if you're trying to gather some opinions and try to get as educated as you can, again, ultimately your nose on your skin is going to be the ultimate way to see if you like it. But if you're looking for kind of a guide, at least from me, on what my personal favorites are, in my opinion, these are the 5 best across 4 different lines from Dumont. So let's dive into them. Stay tuned. Before we jump into it, you can grab these from Perfume Box with the discount code down below. That's where all of these fragrances came from over the last year or so. Obviously, you don't have to make any purchases to check out this video. It's just there for your convenience if you're interested in checking any of these out. But most importantly, let's talk about these fragrances. So the one I probably recommend the most, that pops up the most on this channel, is kind of a twist on Angel Share. It's a bit more fruity. It's hefty on the cinnamon. It's not quite as boozy. It is in their Celerio line. This is Dumont's Celerio Epic. Beautiful fragrance. Love the bottle to this one. All their bottles are actually quite unique. There we go. A little fruity. Super fiery hot cinnamon spice. You gotta like cinnamon. So that cognac smell is there. Has that sweet warm boozy benzoin cognac combo, but it's not as heavy on the booze. It's heavier on the cinnamon. So again, more of a twist than a direct clone, but I mean, obvious they were going Angel Share here. Big fan, phenomenal performance, pretty good quality. I wouldn't put it on Killian's level of quality, but compared to several other affordable twists, clones, inspired interpretations of Angel Share, I would put this towards the upper tier when it comes to quality and performance. You really get a lot of bang for your buck here. This is an awesome fragrance, and definitely worth checking out if you're looking for a great version with a little bit of a twist of Angel Share. It's Celerio Epic. Hands down, their most hyped fragrance out of everything. It's youthful, it's vibrant, it's a high compliment factor kind of fragrance. It is Dumont's Nitro Red. Should be no surprises here. If you haven't heard of many from Dumont, you've probably heard about Nitro Red. This is actually quite nice. If you like Hawass and Invictus fragrances like that, you'll enjoy this. The difference versus those is this smells like it's got a watermelon Jolly Rancher in this bottle, mixed with that sweet bubblegum aquatic and a little bit of spice. It's such a fun fragrance. It smells so good. It's youthful. It's a great young man's fragrance. And look, anybody 30, 40, 50, 60, if you just like a good, fun, playful fragrance, don't let anybody tell you can't wear this. You know what I mean? People try to put age limits on apparel, fragrance, clothes, shoes. I'm 40 and I shouldn't be wearing a flat bill hat. Wear what you like, you know what I mean? And this is one that gets a lot of hype, and I think it's well deserved. Again, if you like Hawass and Invictus, which honestly I take this over both of them, and I love Hawass and Invictus. There was a time that Invictus was my favorite fragrance. It's that watermelon Jolly Rancher, that artificial Jolly Rancher, that artificial watermelon smell in here. That is the difference maker for me, and it's a monster performer. It's not the strongest quality. It's definitely the most synthetic, cheapest smelling line is their Nitro line. It's their more budget conscious line. They're around 30 bucks when a lot of their higher quality stuff's around 50. Not a big gap in price, but this is fun stuff. Any of you younger fellas that happen to see this, strongly encourage this be the first one you check out because it gets hyped for a reason. It's Dumont Nitro Red. Next, this is one of their 2 main lines. I would say their highest quality, has their best atomizers, their coolest looking bottles. This is from their Tresador line, and my personal favorite is called Celestia. Now, Celestia is very, very similar to a fragrance from Electimus called Trajan, and any of you familiar with Trajan know that that itself is very similar to Baccarat Rouge 540. So what's different about this from Baccarat Rouge 540? So this has a lot of oak moss in the base, more oak moss I find than Trajan, which is replicating, and you get a lot of citrus up top. You still get that cotton candy-esque, burnt sugary sweetness of Baccarat Rouge 540 with mouth-watering citrus, great pressurized atomizer, and a nice fresh woodsy slightly earthy green, more fresh than earthy. Oak moss, it's actually more of a chypre at its core than you may even realize. Not the most masculine fragrance, but compared to a lot of other things that smell like Baccarat Rouge 540, it's actually much more masculine because of that oak moss dominance in the base. And the citrus, literally making my mouth water. It's quite juicy. Beautiful fragrance. Quality is definitely up there. They stepped the quality of the smell up greatly with this Tresador line, and another one that no Dumont fragrances are lacking performance in my experience, and I've tried about 20 or so from them. And this, nothing short of a beast. Again, my favorite from the Tresador line, this is Dumont Tresor Celestia. Speaking of those two best lines, the Borouj line is my favorite line. Another one, pressurized atomizers, great bottles, high quality scent profiles, and the best of the bunch to me is called Spiritus. Spiritus smells like Nishane's Hachivat, but here the oak moss is more fresh and woody versus the spicy, slightly smoked green oak moss that you get in Nishane's Hachivat. You still get the citruses and the fruits and all that good stuff. This is just some good stuff. This is a monster too. This is the strongest fragrance in this video. God, this smells so good. Oak moss from the start, too. You gotta like oak moss. This is a chypre, through and through. Man's man type of scent. One of the most masculine fragrances we're talking about here today. These last two are the most masculine profiles. And they have similarity to one another, but they're different fragrances at the same time. No smokiness to this one. Again, fresh woody green. Citrus and fruits, pineapple, apple, bergamot, I believe, is the combo. Not a sweet, fruity smell, but you get more of that crisp apple at the top that gives it this bite of freshness, that just biting into an apple, that crisp type of feel, you know? How you like that sound effect? This is a beautiful fragrance. I highly encourage checking this out. Perlador is really good. L'Ambassade Oud, just the whole line. It's the best of the best from them, in my opinion. Their best fragrances are in this line. You see this bottle? It's quality. And my favorite of the bunch is definitely Borouj Spiritus. And last but not least, so across their multiple lines, they have several that walk the path of Aventus. I think this one walks it the closest. Nitro Intense, Platinum, and Black all have their similarities, but they're different fragrances. Whereas back to the Celerio line we go with Oros. Oros is very similar to Aventus. Now, there's differences here. Just like batch variation with Aventus, this one's got a little more of this one's got a little more of that. This one's more musk, smoke, apple, and bergamot. Not as heavy on the pineapple. I don't really get much of the vanilla. I don't get loads of rose or anything like that. That's the main things I get. I still get the smokiness, that birch smell, nice and musky, citrus fruity up top. Man, quality's pretty good on this one. Not as good as the Borouj line and the Tresador line, but the Celerio line steps it up greatly from the Nitro line. Man, that nice little hit of pineapple, but again, I get more of the other citruses and fruits in the top. It's just pretty well blended and balanced with this kind of medley up top. Now, I'm normally one for the twists. I prefer the twists because I have a bottle of Aventus, and if I want to wear Aventus, I just wear Aventus. But I like to see the twists and the differences, and this is more so batch variation clone because it smells like really close, for the most part, to Aventus. So if that's what you're looking for, in my opinion, of what they offer, this is their best Aventus type fragrance across all their different lines. I kind of saved it for last on purpose because there's a lot of talking points to this one, because they have several that kind of, sort of, maybe a little, walk the path of Aventus, whereas this is, yeah, this is the one that you could call as their Aventus clone for sure. They tried to get really close here, and they did a pretty good job. So if you're looking to check one out that's got much better quality than some of your Club de Nuit Intense Man flankers and so on, you might want to check this one out. Again, from Dumont, it's Celerio Oros. Well, that was a quick 5, my favorite 5, and there's a lot of good stuff. We could have did 10, but I wanted to keep it short and keep it at what I think are literally the 5 best of the house, at least to my taste, in my opinion. Some of you are already typed the comment the moment you got the number 2, and you're like, where is this one? I can't believe this isn't here. Why isn't that there? It's just my opinion. Just because you like different ones doesn't mean I do. And some of these you can be like, oh yeah, I totally agree. That's the ones. So, and you know, keep it light, keep it tight in the comments. You know, nobody's opinions are wrong or right. They're just our individual opinions. I hope this was helpful to some. Again, if you want to check these out, you can catch them in the link down below. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe before you leave. We'll catch you on the next one.